What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a $44,000 wholesale deal I recently did. That being said, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go down below, hit the red button and subscribe to the channel. A good percentage of my viewers are not subscribing. I'll pop up the analytics on the screen right now. So if that's one of you, please go subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives, so it's really beneficial. That being said though, let's get right into the video. Alright, that's right. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a $44,000 wholesale deal I did here in Phoenix, Arizona. So first off, how did I find the deal? So my favorite marketing channel is cold calling. So what I did to acquire this deal was it started with cold calling marketing. I have 35 cold callers on my team, and we get between 1,500 to 1,800 leads a month from 35 cold callers. A ton of leads. We have a ton of leads to work with in order to acquire deals. So we got this deal from cold calling marketing. You're probably asking, what list did this deal come from? This deal came from a high equity list. I pulled this list from Cole Realty Resource. There's a link in the description for this data source. So this lead came from cold calling marketing calling a high equity list. Now once the lead came in, one of my acquisition managers in the office picked up the lead and started calling them. He started getting on the phone with them and finding out the exact condition of the property and the exact reasons why they wanted to sell, right? He pulled out all the pain points so we could negotiate based off those pain points. Why did they want to sell? What's pressing them to sell, right? Why did they start thinking about this? How soon do they want to sell? He collected all this information from them, all this data about them, so that way we could use that to negotiate and get the deal. I'm very fortunate now that I don't really have to call homeowners. I'm not acquiring the deals. I have a full team of sales managers in my office. We currently have 5 sales managers in the office that call all the motivated seller leads that come in and collect all that info from them and build rapport and use their sales skills to close deals. So what were the reasons that my acquisition manager found out from the seller as to why they wanted to sell? So this seller owns a few rental properties and their own personal residence in Arizona, and they wanted to move to Texas. And because they wanted to move to Texas, they wanted to sell all their properties. But the funny thing was, they actually wanted to sell their personal residence first and not the rental properties right away. The reason they didn't want to sell the rental properties right away is because they had year-long leases with the tenants that were in their rental properties, and they couldn't break the lease, right? There was no way for them to get out of their lease because it was a year-long lease and the landlord had no way to get out of it. So he has to wait to sell those rental properties, but he was ready to sell his personal residence. And he said if we can buy his personal residence and the deal goes smoothly, he then will want to sell us the rental properties once they are vacant. And we told him, right, that we would even be able to buy the rental properties and keep the tenants in them, right? Because I have very good buyers that are willing to keep tenants in place until their lease is up. So I told him, we could even keep the tenants and we could buy all your properties from you at once. But he said, he didn't want to do that to the tenants. He didn't want management to change. He didn't want them to have a new landlord. He wanted them to just be able to finish their lease and then move out and then sell the properties when they were vacant. And we said, you know what, if that's what you really want to do, and if you feel that, it's not right to switch everything up with the tenants right now, then that's okay. Let's just buy your personal residence, and then later on, after this deal goes smoothly, we can work with you on your rental properties. So now we got down to the details on his personal residence. His personal residence was in pretty good shape, right? It didn't need that much work. So it wasn't really like a normal wholesale deal. But thank God I have really good buyers that are being really competitive in this market because the market is so hot right now that they're willing to buy stuff and hold it for 30 years, and they want to buy stuff that's in good shape. They've got to put less work into it and they plan on renting it out anyways. So if the asset is already stabilized, ready to rent without much work needed for it, then it's a good deal for them anyways. That being said though, because the property was in a little bit better shape than our normal deals, the seller did want more money for his property. So at first, we didn't think it was going to be as good of a deal. But then we realized that the deal meets our buy box for one of our best buyers perfectly. And this buyer of ours will buy stuff at 100% of value, sometimes even 10% over value. So let's say the property was worth $400, they might even pay $410 to $440 for the deal. So now we knew we'd be able to sell this deal even if we had to pay more. And the seller was not budging on $375,000 for his property. And we did everything we could to lower him. But he said, if you can't do $375,000, then it's not a deal. We're not making a deal. I'm not doing it. He was firm. And we tried for about 10, 15 minutes going back and forth with hardcore negotiation with the guy to try to bring him down. But he was firm at $375,000. But that was okay. We decided to contract the deal. We got him to sign the contract, and now we had the deal under contract. And now this was time to start marketing the deal to our buyers. And with this deal, we knew we only needed to market it to a couple of our buyers because we knew we needed one of our buyers that will pay 100% or 110% of value. So there's only a few of those that we have that in Arizona that will buy these type of properties at full value. And so that's what we did. We got the seller to send us pictures of the property, so that way we didn't have to go out to the property ourselves, and we took the pictures plus all the different information about the property and we plugged it into an email and sent that off to a few of our hedge fund buyers that will buy stuff like this at 100% of value. And we started getting feedback from them. And I just want to throw in here real quick, if you guys are struggling to sell your deals, or if you want to see if some of my buyers will pay you way more for your deals, feel free to submit your deals to me and my team at jacobblank.com/dispo. There's a link in the description for this. And me and my team will personally help you sell your deals for top dollar and maximum profit. So partner up with us. Let us help you sell your deal. We don't take much of a cut of the profit. We just want to help you make more money on each and every deal you get. So make sure to submit your deals to me and my team at jacobblank.com/dispo, and we will help you sell your deals. But we started getting feedback from these buyers, right? One of them was coming in lower than we had it at. They were coming in at $360, and then we had one at about $390. But then the one buyer that I knew would buy this deal came in at $425,000 for the deal, which was amazing. That meant we were going to make $50,000 on the deal. But their offer was contingent on inspection. So they were going to inspect the property, and they may lower their offer. So we scheduled the inspection. They walked through the property with their inspector and they wrote up a long inspection of little things that needed to be done to the property. None of the repairs that were needed were great. They weren't substantial. It only needed little touch-up cosmetic work done to the property. But that knocked their purchase price down. Because basically they were expecting to have to put no money into the property, and after inspection they realized they were going to have to put a decent amount of money into the property. And so that lowered their offer down to $419,000. And that left us making a $44,000 assignment fee. And we were cool with that. So we finished up the paperwork with them, and we got the paperwork to title, and now we went through the transaction process. When you're dealing with these corporate buyers, the transaction process is super simple because they have a ton of systems in place that make the transaction process super easy, right? And they're never going to back out of the deal. Once they go hard on the deal and confirm they want to buy it, they're not going to back out, so there's no concerns. And so when you're dealing with these corporate buyers that will pay top dollar, it's super easy to get through the transaction process. And this seller was super cool too. All he wanted was his $375,000, and we told him we were going to get him it. So he wasn't bothered or nervous throughout the transaction process. He believed in us because we built the rapport with him. So he wasn't constantly calling us for updates. It was pretty laid back. And so that made the transaction process easy as well. So we got to the day of closing. The buyer sent in his money, and the seller signed closing docs, and the buyer signed closing docs, and boom, the deal closed around 2 p.m. and title sent us our check for $44,000. And there we go, deal done. This was an awesome $44,000 wholesale deal, and we're doing big deals all the time like this because we have amazing buyers right now. So that being said, I want to remind you again, if you need help selling your deals, me and my team will personally help you sell your wholesale deals. So make sure to go submit your deals that you want us to help you sell at jacobblank.com/dispo, and we will help you out. Also, there's links in the description for a bunch of other real estate resources, so make sure to check that out. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.